Hello there, my name is Marcos. Today I'm going to be showing you a project I did for my .NET MAUI class, cross-platform mobile development. And basically what we did was we took a basic calculator app and expanded it by first things first is we added complex operations. So instead of just doing two numbers, one operator, you could do multiple like this. And we also have these buttons for negative and percent. And then the next thing is we had a history page that shows all the history. We can clear this. Then go back here. We could even do 9 times 6 minus 36. And then have all that here. Then as you can see, we have a page in the middle for date calculator where basically we have a start date and end date. You can calculate the days in between. And yeah, that's basically all the functionality of the app. Now let's take a look at the source code. Starting off the app shell, you can see we just created a tab bar with each of the pages. Start off with the main page. See, most of this was basically already given to us. We changed up some of the colors, some of the basic UI, some of the attributes, I should say. And then before it was the operator had its own function and the numbers had its own function, but I just combined them, as we'll see on the next page. And then the percent, the negative, and the equals button also all have their own functions, as we'll see here. So basically we have a select number operator, and this if else function just checks like if we're going to start a whole new expression or if we're just going to use the previous result to start a new expression. This just checks for that and then adds the button operator to the string. And we also have a function for the clear button to just clear everything out. And then on equals, we calculate, we update the text, and then we also add it to the history. And on negative, it does the same thing, except doesn't use the calculate function, but really just does it all right here, as it's very simple. Percentage, same thing. So let me actually pull up this calculator class that we use here. So as you can see here, we have three main functions, which is tokenize, infix to postfix, and then evaluate postfix. Tokenize basically just breaks up each of the numbers and supports doubles and integers. So it's gonna see 8 plus 9 and then break it up into 8 plus 9 each one. And then we're gonna convert that from infix to postfix using this function here. Then we're gonna evaluate the postfix, this function here, and then actually find the result. And now we can move on to the history page. So for the history page, I also made another class called calculation history, so it could be accessed by both the main page and the history page, where we store everything in a file. We get the history, we add the history, and then we have clear, where it just deletes the file. Now going into the XAML, pretty simple, just a list view which with each of the history elements from the file, and then a button to clear the history. Actually here I also made it to where it would refresh every time it appears. And yeah, now moving on to the date calc page. And for date calc, instead of using this underlying C# code, we use the view model. As you can see here, start date, end date, days in between, and then to calculate the days in between. And then pretty much here, behind the view model, have a stack layout with labels, the date pickers, and a button to basically show that whole page. I believe that's everything for the source code. So now what we can do is move on to key commits. So the first key commit would have to be this one, yeah. Added code to support complex expressions. So with this one, it was where we actually added all those functions, just tokenize, infix, postfix, evaluate postfix, to be able to support complex expressions and store them. Well, not quite store them. That would be the next commit. Next key commit would be where we actually added the history page, logic, and UI when we stored them in the file and made it so we could see all of them, and it would just update every time we got on the page. So those two were definitely big commits. And then the last commit we have here is where we actually added the view model for the date calc, to where we had a start date, we had an end date, calculate the days in between, and just have all that data in the view model. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this project. Thank you so much for watching.